Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Prince Harry's reported hope that Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet might one day decide to become working royals was met with a blunt response from royal commentators. Royal expert Kinsey Schofield said, "It's utterly absurd for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to believe their children might one day choose to become working royals. That kind of entitlement isn't just wishful thinking, it borders on delusion. These are American children who have been raised oceans away from the monarchy, with no exposure to the customs, culture, or continuity that define royal life." Harry closed that door himself the moment he boarded Tyler Perry's private jet and handed over his life story to a ghostwriter for spare. British broadcaster and photographer Helena Chard was equally forthright. "Prince William will not be thinking of giving the Sussex children formal future royal roles. Ludicrous," she said. "The children are being raised in America and, as I understand, do not have any understanding of the British royal family. They will not have received the guidance to fit into royal life, and royal expectation should not even be a thought. And why would Harry and Meghan want this for their children anyway? They stepped down as working royals, painted the British royal family in the most aberrant light, and ran as far away from them as possible." Royal historian Richard Fitzwilliams noted that any decision on the children's HRH status ultimately rests with the sovereign. It may or may not resolve itself. It would be simple for the HRH to be removed by the sovereign. However, they were entitled to it automatically as children of the sons of the monarch, because of the 1917 letters patent of George V, contrary to what the Sussexes claimed in their infamous Oprah interview. It is unclear what William will do when he becomes king, but he will be well aware of the probable effect and vast, often adverse publicity if he did this. Hilary Fordich, another long-time royal analyst, argued that the trust between the brothers had been fatally damaged. Prince Harry has consistently exacerbated the rift he created after he departed from royal life with his tell-all whinge-vest spare. Growing up together, both Prince William and Prince Harry know how treasured trust is. They trusted each other. But Prince Harry has deliberately destroyed that trust, which can never be regained. Therefore, it would be beyond hypocritical for the Sussexes, who have rejected royal duties, to expect their children who have zero knowledge of royal responsibilities to ever even be able to assume any roles. They declared royal life unbearable, and their undignified conduct has confirmed how ill-fitted either of them would be back in any royal roles. According to Roya Nicker of the Sunday Times, Prince William's attitude towards his brother has shifted significantly to indifference. A friend of the Prince of Wales observed, "What has struck me most recently is that he just doesn't mention it at all. It used to be that the family stuff was taking up a lot of space in his head. It was a very close relationship, and he was very upset. But he's not letting it get to him at all anymore. It's a change. It's sad, but it's a much healthier space for him to be at." Fordich sees that stance as deliberate. Prince William is taking a healthy approach by not even addressing nor wasting time considering his wayward brother. He is dedicated to his lovely, loyal family and royal duties. He doesn't see any point in even discussing his brother, as he isn't in control of his despicable actions. He sees his time better focused on where he can make a difference for his family, his people, and his role in the nation's history. A friend of the prince summed up William's outlook simply: "He's always been fiercely protective of them and will be fiercely protective of them in the future." In the Daily Mail, Richard Eden writes, "After the birth of Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor in 2019, Prince Harry and Meghan made clear that they had chosen not to use a title for their son. He could have become the Earl of Dumbarton, one of Harry's subsidiary titles, or have been Lord Archie Mountbatten Windsor, but instead he was simply Master Archie. At the time, the sycophantic journalists such as Omid Scobie, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's future biographer, gushed that this decision was all part of their desire to give their son as normal life as possible. Yet, after moving to the egalitarian US, the couple seemed to have a change of heart. Instead of seeking a normal life for little Archie, they wanted him to be formally known as a prince. So insistent were they that he deserved a regal title that they whined about it to a worldwide audience of almost 50 million in their explosive interview with Oprah in 2021. In fact, the rules governing the titles of royal children were set out by George V, the late Queen Elizabeth's grandfather, in 1917. Archie and Lilibet, now aged 6 and 4, were not prince and princess at birth because they were not grandchildren of the monarch at the time. However, they gained the right to these titles when King Charles acceded to the throne in 2022. The Sussexes referred to their daughter as Princess Lilibet for the first time after her christening in California was announced in 2023. A spokesman for the couple said, "The children's titles have been a birthright since their grandfather became monarch. This matter has been settled for some time in alignment with Buckingham Palace. The children were subsequently named as Prince and Princess on the royal family's official website. Not apparently content with these titles, however, the Sussexes wanted their children to be known as His Royal Highness and Her Royal Highness to boot. We know this because a source close to the Duke and Duchess informed the Guardian newspaper this month that the couple had applied for British passports for their children and requested that HRH was printed on them. From what I am told, the removal of Archie and Lilibet's HRHs could be part of a wider slimming down of the monarchy when William becomes king. He may choose to restrict the use of HRHs to working members of the royal family. This would mean that Harry and Meghan, as well as their children, are stripped of these titles. More palace in just a moment. In the Daily Mail, Rebecca English shared when she knew it was all downhill for Meghan. English writes, "In all the royal family's troubled relations with Harry and Meghan, it was a single word that sent a collective shiver down the spine of Buckingham Palace and left senior courtiers in little doubt that whatever route the couple eventually took, things would not end happily. Announcing their decision to step back from their position as senior working royals in order to carve out a progressive new role within this institution as financially independent individuals, the couple concluded, we will continue to collaborate with Her Majesty the Queen, the Prince of Wales, the Duke of Cambridge, and all relevant parties." And there it was, the word collaborate. No one collaborates with the Queen. This is not one of those Kate Moss Top Shop tie-ups, one well-placed source raged to me at the time. This is exactly why Queen Elizabeth knew this whole half-in, half-out version of royalty they were lobbying for was never, ever going to work, my source says. Another source added, Harry and Meghan were a law unto themselves from the start, pushing the envelope to their own professional and financial advantage. Her late Majesty was nobody's fool and knew the chances were it would all end in disaster. As Meghan will likely attest, it's really hard to be a royal. It isn't all tiaras and garden parties. Just ask Prince Edward and Duchess Sophie, who've spent the last 26 years living in what one architectural historian once described as bad, purposeless, ugly. That's Bagshot Park, the 120-room Tudor Gothic mansion in Surrey, gifted to the couple by the late Queen Elizabeth II after their 1999 wedding. Imagine having to live in an ugly house with 51 acres of grounds, private lake, and multiple stables. The family has tried to make it livable by adding features like a conservatory and made the most out of the estate's generous proportions, even if the public can't tour the house for themselves. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify and Apple and leave us a nice review if you're enjoying the show. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue and continues.